Hello everybody, today I'm going to be making What If Deku Was Raised at UA, which includes by all the teachers. Now for the sake, we're just going to say every UA teacher is an adult, whether they were or weren't, I don't know, but let's say Inko, Hisashi took Midoriya before he left them and dropped him off at UA because let's say that he heard from the early test that it was very unlikely that Deku would have a quirk. But usually later he will have a quirk, and it'll be a pretty good quirk because I'm gonna feel bad if he is raised by my teachers. He does have a good quirk. So, let's say there's a knock from the UA door, and let's say that Mr. Aizawa, President Mike and Principal Nezu, as well as Midnight, happen to be walking by there. Now, when they open the door, they don't see anybody there, but they see a small Izuku Midoriya crying on the ground. Now, there was a little car next to it. It said that if this baby is named Izuku Midoriya. He's quirkless so far, but it was told that he will awaken his quirk late, and I couldn't have my wife go through that. I'm sorry I had to abandon him to strong people that would be able to protect him and where he wouldn't get bullied by people. I'm sorry if this is a burden. But please raise my son Izuku Midoriya, and it says the father of Izuku Midoriya at the bottom. Now, there was a 2-on-2. Principal, no. Let's say that Midnight and President Mike thought that they should raise Deku, but Izawa and Principal Nezu didn't really think it was that much of a good idea. But then they saw another note which had the details of his quirk when he were to grow older. Now, when they read this, they noticed that it was a very strong quirk, which I'm going to wait to tell you. So, Aizawa still thought that it would be better if just one of them had raised him instead of having him just live at UA, but it was now Nezu, Midnight, and President Mike against Aizawa, which he's the principal, so he can do whatever he wants. So yeah, Nezu said that Izuku is to be trained here, he's to be raised here. Now, let's say that Izuku or Deku is, let's say, 1.5 years old when he was brought down here. This is the age that they had to do the early test to find the chances of the person having the quirk. Although the chances weren't high of him having quirk at the normal age, he actually knew that he was going and that Inko probably wouldn't be able to raise him on his own through all the bullying. So, let's say that the people that usually take care of him and he's usually in their classes is Midnight and let's say Midnight, Eraserhead, and President Mike. As well as a few times, sometimes when they go to the USJ or the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, I think it's also known as, let's say 13 is there sometimes or something like that. And sometimes Principal Nezu will take care of him, but that's pretty much the only people that I really see taking care of him. honestly. So let's say that he would always, let's say most of the time, he was in the class with Aizawa because even though Aizawa wasn't exactly on board with it, we all know Aizawa would probably, sorry for that loud bang, would probably end up being the one to take care of the most because, I mean, it's Aizawa, and he's kind of like, I've watched What If Deku Was Aizawa's son. I've seen one where it was if Deku was a kid during the time, but I'm pretty sure I would agree with that part and say Aizawa would probably raise him most like a child and give him the most. So let's say Aizawa was kind of like Deku's father, and Midnight's more like Deku's mother. As well as some students like being here or there and all that with him, but they would soon become heroes and stuff, so he didn't really useful not to get too attached to them, especially the third years. So Deku's always fed properly and stuff until, let's say, he goes to the age of 7. Shut! Sorry. Age of 7, and Izuku wakens his quirk, and he does this while almost being in danger because, let's say, somebody with a, let's say, not water quirk, what kind of quirk? Let's say with a fist enhancement quirk was about to punch Deku on accident, and then all of a sudden his quirk awoken and he pushed him away. So Deku's quirk we're gonna call Psychic, and it's pretty much like what a psychic Pokemon could do, where he can pretty much he can read people's thoughts. He has kind of like a force field around him. His body is really strong and stuff, so it's like even if he were to get punched, it wouldn't hurt him a lot. Let's say a punch that would at least push him back would be like Bakugo's like blow up fist or something, or let's say a Deku at 5% of All For One. So, and he can also he can make people fly and stuff. He can bring objects to him or away from him, and it's a really strong quirk. But he can only use it to 25% of its full ability at that time. But by the time he actually comes to Soon, he's going to be able to use 100%. So when this happens, Aizawa tells the class that class is over, and he takes Izuku to Principal Nezu and explains what happened. Now they do a few tests and they say that his quirk is psychic, and they explain everything that happens. I might add a few more stuff down the line, but let's just say that's with upgrades to his ability, because I don't know, usually do stuff like that. So that's when, let's say that there's a teacher working there at that point of time for around 2 years, and they want him to train Deku on learning how to do the read people's minds and stuff like that. So let's say he gets trained on his read people's minds and his bring stuff to him and pick stuff up and stuff without touching them. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Mewtwo in a way. So yeah, he unlocked his. Let's say with those 2 powers, he unlocked 35% during this time, being able to kind of do the thing that Inoichi does in Naruto, where he goes into their minds and pulls out information in a way, all except this time it's kind of like folders of stuff and information, or parts of the brain that have certain information. Let's say with his psychic ability, he can push away or hold up a truck, let's say 1,500 pounds, so that's almost a whole ton. That's 75% of the time. So yeah, that's only a 35% power, so soon he's going to be able to lift buildings. Anyways, and then that teacher leaves and they bonded kind of, so Izuku is sad, but he understands. Now, let's say that Aizawa has started to teach Izuku how to do the thing with his bandages. Since those are not his quirk, Izuku's probably going to learn how to use the bandages and manipulate them. But his hair will still stand up and stuff like that. Let's say he learns how to use one of those whips from Midnight. Let's say from the guy with the gun. I forget his name. I just was watching a What If earlier about him. But anyways, let's say he learns how to have a pretty sharp eye and stuff. And he learns blade skills from him. Let's say he gets smarter from Nezu, because you remember drinks teas like a psychopath. Do you remember the exam where all those people went against him and Crane knocking everything over? Anyways, sorry. And then, well, President Mike would teach him how to be super loud. And let's say President Mike is an uncle to him in a way, so, and he likes being in President Mike's classroom because he likes the yelling in a way. He also likes music, so let's say he also learned how to play music. So right now Deku is the age of 9, and well, let's say a year later from what I just explained, Deku is 10, 2 years, actually not 2 years, a year before Lemillion or I forget, Mirio joins UA and stuff. So let's say that right now Deku fully knows how to, like, let's say in a training session, he started to train against some first year UA students, and he would actually sometimes win against them. So let's say he's the power of 3% Deku with All for One. And that's pretty strong for a kid who's 11 years old. Not 11. No. Yeah, 10. So he has 50% of his full power with his mind ring stuff. So his shield is pretty much impenetrable. The only people that would be able to penetrate it is like All for One, All Might. Let's say heroes from, let's say 35 and up, and villains rank 25 and up, because I know most villains aren't strong. The high up ones are though, like they're monster. Anyways, and his, like, telepathy thing or whatever, where you can pick up objects, has gone to 1.5 tons, so you can pick up to 3,000 pounds worth of stuff. And his mind reading, he can read way back into the, back in people's minds. Like, let's say before he could only search half of the brain, now he can search 80% of the brain. And let's say that the mind reading thing is starting to get, like, really strong, but this is only the first percent. Like, he can't directly read people and what they're thinking. It takes a few seconds for him to realize it, but that time's gonna shorten by the time he's UA soon. And let's say he fully knows how to do Aizawa's thing, as you see in the picture, unless you don't see it, I don't know, where he has the threads or whatever, his scarf, you can call it. He fully knows how to do that, which people kind of think that that's his quirk, but when they see Aizawa do and they know he's Eraserhead, they realize it's not his quirk. And let's say he's good at the talent of the whip. He's also very, very smart, like high IQ level. He's done second year UA student textbooks, and it took him about 1 semester to do the 4th semester. So yeah. And also, he's a great swordsman, as I said, whip. So let's say he has a belt. and he already has his hero costume. Let's say his hero costume, he has the scarf around him, he has the whip on his chain, he has a few swords on him, as well as some guns. Because remember the one gun guy where he has a perfect game, as well as he has a few, as he always goes to the USJ whenever the students go, because let's say 13 is one of his favorite heroes for this matter. And yeah, very interesting. So let's skip a year when Mirio, Lemillion, Sun Eater, and the other girl, I forget her name, hyperactive, would you know about everybody for some reason? They all enroll in, and they quickly become friends with Deku, who finds to see their Quirks cool, and they see their Quirks are very powerful, except for one girl. I don't understand why she's part of Big Three. Yeah, I guess, but it takes energy, like a lot of energy out of her. Sunny's quirk is probably in the top 10. I'm pretty sure he would be like number 10 of them all to me. Sorry about that thing. But it's like, you can eat a swordfish, or turn like your arm into a sword or something. Like, let's say you're about to punch somebody, all of a sudden your arm turns into a sword, and they're about to take the punch, and you stab right through them. Like, that's pretty good. So, yeah, they're all friends, and let's say Sunny's in a better mood around him because he doesn't want to give a child the gloomy moods. Except he does have like a happy mood around other teachers, but he usually acts like Aizawa. Yeah. And let's say now he started to only go to Aizawa in midnight classes, because let's say that's the ones that Mirio and the rest of the big three are in, and as well as, like as I said, that's pretty much like his mother and father's classes, as well as he actually likes going to midnight class the most now instead of going to President Mike's, because he started to learn that he's kind of obnoxious. Let's go to where Izuku. Let's go to let's say Izuku is gonna be, let's say everybody gets, let's say when it's their class, like class 1A, as we know them, gets enrolled in, I think I did calculations wrong, ignore me. If anything, everything's just a year ahead if I said anything wrong. So, by this point in time, he has fully enabled his powers. He knows how, like, with his, knowing what people are saying and stuff. He knows exactly what they're saying. And he can kind of, like, hypnotize people away and brainwash them, kind of. But the brainwashing only lasts for, like, a year, and then that can cause more problems in the future. So he doesn't try to brainwash them casually. Let's say he can now carry up to 10,000, let's say 5 tons worth of weight, which is 10,000 pounds, which is high, very much. So that's probably almost all, not all of UA, but let's say probably almost one of the first buildings. More like the U or the A. I think I'm probably very wrong, but leave it how it is for now. Very wrong. I'm very wrong, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Anyway, so let's just say he can hold up one part of UA, the U or the A. It's weird. Rather school for him. So let's say let's say that he was gonna go into a class anyways, because he was very strong. He could have probably been in the top 50 heroes already. Oh yeah, as well as this force field. This force field can only be penetrated by, let's say, the top 10 heroes. So let's say King Lurka has a very hard time with it, all the way up until number 2 and 1, where they cannot easily do it. They still can do it easier, but the first, like, 3 to 10 to 3 have a hard time, but it gets easier as it goes on. Anyways, and let's say that Tomura, no, not Tomura, All For One, Overhaul, and a few others could do that. Now let's say Aizawa, Midnight, Deku. So let's say the night before the the test going to UA, although he's already getting in, he wanted to test his strength, and show other people how strong he is. Aizawa, Midnight, Present Mike, Principal Nezu, and let's say 13, what happened to be there that day. We're all going to get something to eat while Sledgeville intact, but then without anybody even noticing except for Principal Nezu, Deku was there and obliterated the villain, brainwashing him and not knowing how to use his quirk, and his quirk went out of control, as well as him being taken into the PlayStation now. That's when All Might showed up and said, "I am here," in his manly voice I don't have. And then he saw Aizawa, Principal Nezu, who he had to talk with that day. And he did suggest Midoriya. Well, he did suggest Lemillion and Midoriya. As well as he saw Midnight, Present Mike, and 13. And he was questioning what they were doing. Actually, let's say he didn't know about Midoriya. They were saying that they were taking UA's, UA's own, I don't know whether they're gonna call, let's say one of the big fours. So we're gonna call them big four now, although Izuku did not graduate with Mirio, whatever their other names are, Sun Eater, and he is known as as part of the big three, as being the big four now, because of how strong he is, and he's always been training with them, and he has gone on many missions with them and been a huge part of their plans. So, and he was asking what you mean by big four, and they showed Izuku to All Might, and Izuku was amazed that All Might was standing there. And All Might said, this kid looks like he's just about to graduate, and he's just about to get into UA's first years. And they said, yes, he was. They explained what happened to him and how he was dropped off with them, but he's very strong, and they explained his quirk. And All Might was surprised, and Izuku asked for his graph, and that's when Principal Nezu said that All Might is actually going to be working in one of your classes, and Deku was happy. He actually fainted from being so happy. Now, he woke up a bit later, drinking on tea, because that's what Principal Nezu always taught him to drink. He was always taught to drink water and tea, because it's weird. I want to say that. As well as him being old enough to drink wine. Let's say he's smart enough to know what can happen. I don't know what I mean by wine. But shut up. Anyways. All Might is gone, and happens to be that they forgot about the sludge monster, and let's say that actually this time he was holding a knife to Bakugo's throat. Now, Izuku didn't even know Bakugo, but he knew the civilian and knows the job of the heroes now. Everybody went there, but Izuku jumped out and actually lifted the villain, threw him into a building, rendering him unconscious. Now, he was about to be scolded by the heroes, and that's when all of the teachers that were with him stepped in and said that it was okay for him to jump in. He has been trained by all of us. And that's when they were wowed, because I'm pretty sure they're in, like, probably the top 50 strongest, if not the top 25 strongest heroes. So, yeah. And, the news went over to Deku, I keep wanting to say Naruto for some reason, and asked him all about what happened, and he just replied he was doing what a hero should do. Now, let's say they go with, the next day is the test. He aces, he makes a new UA record for, the actual test part of it, where they do the written exam. And that's when word starts spreading around that Deku was raised in UA by all of the teachers, and that's when everybody started taunting him, and he didn't really care. He just told him that he gained his strength, yes, by training with them, but also by his hard work. And that's when everybody shut up. But that's when Bakugo came over and tried to injure him. But that's when Midoriya threw Bakugo to the ground with his telekinesis. I'm pretty sure you call it. And he didn't render him unconscious, but he gave him a few bruises, and that's when Bakugo said, "That's all I got." And that's when Midoriya said, "I wasn't even using 1% of my power. It's not exactly hard to beat someone like you." And those big people that have flashy quirks but don't know how to use them correctly. And that's when, just around when Bakugo's about to try to set off another explosion, Principal Nezu comes down and tells Midoriya to stop messing around and to get prepared. And he told Bakugo to go to his part of the test. That's when the whole robot thing came, with Midoriya actually having, let's say, 500 villain points, and that's when the 0 point came. Let's say this time there were a few people knocked down, one being Uraraka, let's say Hiroshima, and I don't know, somebody random, class 1B, let's say the freaking guy with the copy quirk who always rants on about class 1A. Which almost has the people's class 1A. Except he just covers it by hate. Anyways, that would be saying that about Deku, which is messed up, so stop. Actually, it's not messed up, but I can say so. Stop. Okay, let's just continue. So what happens is, when the 0 point comes, Deku actually easily using 5% of his power. Well, not 5%. Let's say he uses all of his power, and that's all of a sudden a big shockwave goes across the city, just not destroying it, but sending everybody flying, making the people who were about to get stepped on go flying away, and he crunched up the robot in a matter of seconds. And that's when the timer stopped, and let's say Deku had 300 hero points, 500 villain points, giving him the highest record in UA history, being All Might, as well as giving him, biggest record in UA history, as well as making him number 1, of course. So, and Bakugo being second still with only 60 points or something like that. So, he's the first one to get the letter. Let's say that they just tell him that he knew he was gonna get in, but when they showed the score, everybody was amazed, and they knew that he was definitely strong. We're gonna end it off there, everybody. I know it might be a long video, I have no idea. Probably around 20 minutes. You can check. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't do like goals on this channel because I actually enjoy doing this stuff. I've been having so many ideas. And since my other channel, we had a blackout, so it won't let me sign in on anything to get in. So this phone is still good because it's a phone. It's not going to get, the whole thing doesn't shut off because it's plugged in or anything. No. It wasn't plugged in at the time, at least. Now somewhere else. So, hope you all have a nice day. I'll probably be uploading another video tonight or tomorrow. And I'll probably do 1 or 2 what ifs at a time. I don't want to do a lot, even if it gets boring. If it gets boring, I'll try to finish as fast as I can. Hope you all have a nice day, and cheers.